Come on in.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Leah Baker with 3M. How are you today?
Nice to meet you this morning.
Nice to meet you too.
So much for accommodating me. I'm so sorry I couldn't meet you yesterday.
Nope, not a
know
problem. Thank you for
those issues that come up in manufacturing. So I was a little surprised when 3M agreed to meet me on a Saturday morning. So again, thank you so much.
Not a problem. Anything to do to accommodate your schedule. I know you're very busy, and I can tell you I work with a lot of engineers, so I certainly understand that they have complexity in their schedules.
Okay, appreciate that.
But I had a great conversation with your purchasing manager, Chris, the other day. He told me a lot of great things about the operation you're running here. And I have to say, compliments to you and your team for pioneering such an innovative approach in your manufacturing. So I'm really excited to learn more.
Appreciate that. It certainly is an interesting venture.
Yes, I will say the same. So that being said, I know you have about 15 minutes for the meeting today.
Correct.
So I really would like to honor that.
Perfect.
I'd like to, Chris saw a lot of value in the panel-to-panel frame bonding process that 3M made. So I'd like to learn a little bit more from your perspective of the business, and then see if you think 3M would be a good fit for you as well to improve that manufacturing. Does that sound okay?
Fair enough.
Okay, wonderful. So, is there any other key decision makers within your company that you think should be in this meeting today?
No, I think actually you've done a really nice job of kind of working through the correct sequence of people. Obviously, getting ESI involved is very important. They're a key supplier for us.
Right.
And then Chris. Chris kind of screens to see who he believes a good supplier and product might be. So you've gotten this far. People obviously are somewhat in agreement that we need to look at it.
Okay, great. So I'd like to just start off. Chris told me a lot about the panel-to-panel frame bonding process that you have, but I want to learn from your perspective since you are, on the manufacturing lines, deep in the process.
Excuse me.
Tell me about what you do there within the panel-to-panel frame bonding.
Not exactly sure exactly what you're looking for there, but obviously we've transitioned the new electric buses very much off the same methodology we used with the diesel buses we made for years. Traditional construction methods, basically drilling holes, aligning holes, rivet them together. You should put a sealant in between. It helps with the joint and the reliability of the construction of the vehicle.
Okay. So Chris threw out a few numbers during our conversation. He said you use about 3,500 rivets per bus, as well as 26 sealant cases. Is that correct?
Sounds good. I think that's pretty close.
And about 20 panels per bus there. So pretty complex process. If there was anything you could improve about that process, what would it be?
Doing it a long time. So I think our goals from a high altitude is we obviously want to increase our throughput, increase our efficiencies, and we're always concerned about the workers and the processes and the safety and ease of our workers, as well as the fact we need a reliable, safe product on the streets for the public. I mean, that's the ultimate line, is we're putting a vehicle into the public, as a public service, and it needs to be safe.
Okay, so you'd say your main concerns are the efficiency of the production, obviously, the workers being taken care of, and then also the safety of the product that you're putting out.
The integrity of the product is obviously important, but anything, we're a manufacturing company, so obviously increasing throughput is, critically important to all of us to keep us competitive.
Right. So I know you're producing about 6 buses currently. Mm-hmm. Ideally, how many buses a week would you like to produce?
As many as I can sell.
Okay. And I know, I saw your facility. It looks pretty large.
Right now, our production schedule is about 6 a week. We've been meeting that. Some weeks harder than others, but we do make some other products here. But obviously, we're a large facility. We'd love to expand the product into other markets. The product's somewhat new, so I think we need to continue to make the product a little better to give us an opportunity to grow the business.
So what's keeping you, at 6 buses a week when you'd like to be doing higher rates of production?
Right. It's our current contract. So obviously for us to expand production, we need to be able to get more contracts and expand out into the marketplace.
Okay. If you were able to increase the efficiency of the manufacturing process you have? Would that help you be able to expand into other markets?
I don't know about the efficiency of the process as much as we still have to make some evolution of the product.
Okay.
Right.
And in terms of evolution, what are you looking to see there? You said that efficiency is certainly a concern, as well as safety. So how could you improve those two pieces?
Well, we've got some, we're electric versus traditional diesel buses and other modes out there now in the marketplace. So, we have some range issues, some speed issues, capacities for charging issues. So, those are all things we want to continue to improve if we're going to, have an opportunity to grow market share.
Sure. Okay. So just to recap a little bit here, a few of the things that you mentioned, you're looking to improve the throughput of the product, increase the efficiency levels so that you have an easier manufacturing process for your workers. And then in doing so, maintain the integrity of the product you produce in terms of safety. Would you say that's correct?
Correct.
Okay. If I could show you our 3M VHB tape process to manufacturing the panel-to-panel frame bonding, that would improve that throughput, that efficiency, and still maintain the safety you're looking for. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Well, sure. I mean, from your conversations with UTISC and Chris, obviously there's some interest in this. So I'd love to see what you have.
Okay, great. So how familiar are you with 3M VHB tape?
I'm not really familiar with the tape at all, and obviously, Chris is still a little concerned about holding something together as big and dynamic as a bus with tape.
Right.
But so I'm very interested.
Well, I certainly understand that concern. I know it's a completely new approach. So I'd love to first just address that durability piece because that's obviously important in maintaining the integrity of the product that you produce. So, just to show you from our strength put together, these are two I-beams put together with the tape. If you want to give a tug there, you can see the strength. Now, I know that, human strength really doesn't compare.
My Superman days are kind of behind me, but, obviously strong from what we can see on it.
Right, but I know that, what a bus endures is certainly greater than this human strength. So
what would the actual tensile strength be to actually pull that apart?
This is virtually indestructible. So this has been used in a variety of industrial applications for the last 20 years, tested and proven in many different markets. So for example, I think a great example of the strength that this tape really has, Boeing actually used this tape in making their aircrafts when they attached the wings to the body of the plane. And we saw that, the wings held up wonderfully with this tape.
Okay.
So, and I do have the case study of that experience detailed out in this folder for you that I'll leave with you soon after the meeting.
Fair enough.
But I can tell you the channel partners that I've worked with, specifically, other transit bus companies, they've implemented this tape into their manufacturing processes, and we, fully warrant, for 20 years the quality and durability of the tape. But even with that warranty, we've seen no problems whatsoever in the manufacturing. So, have you ever experienced with the bolts or the rivets you're using, they'll come loose, or there may be problems in the production?
Well, yeah, it's a mechanical joint, so obviously the movement of a bus will put wear and tear on that component.
Right.
So, we do see some of that.
And so we've seen even in vehicle crashes when the entire vehicle is, fallen apart, the tape is still intact there. So,
impressive.
And like I said, I have the facts detailed out in this folder, so we'll do after the meeting. So, does that help address your durability concern?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, it sounds like it. So, interesting.
And we can bring in, our engineers on the 3M team to help you, see what it would look like in your production line, so that you can really test the durability there and know for yourself that it's working properly.
So, from your experience of selling the product, and you're saying testing the durability, what would you recommend on that?
In terms of, what do you mean in terms of how the product is implemented into your manufacturing?
If your people are coming into the assembly line, what should we be expecting and prepared to help them do?
Well, I'll tell you that the application process is incredibly intuitive. So unlike the training that's required for your traditional manufacturing, you see that with the tape, and I can show you here. So we have a plastic panel, bonding to dissimilar materials, and you can see how easy that adhesion is.
Yep.
So because of the simplicity there, and the bond is instantly made,
Okay.
we see reduction in training time, and there's a very, very fluid transition.
Okay.
Because of that intuitive application. So
Okay.
3M would be with you every step of the way on that. Does
Okay.
that help alleviate your transitioning concerns?
Yeah, just making sure that we're, if we're going to take the time to do something, that we understand what's required.
Right. And one last thing that I'd like to address is you mentioned efficiency, and I spoke to Chris about this in detail. Generally, across the channel partners I've worked with who are experiencing similar manufacturing processes that you are in their bus making, we've seen a reduction of their manufacturing time overall by about 20%.
Okay.
So with that time, you can work on expanding into new markets.
Okay.
Is that something that you think would bring value to your manufacturing process?
Well, anytime we can reduce time, obviously, it would bring huge value. So where would we see that time reduction?
So you would see that time reduction in, like I said, the intuitive application process.
Okay.
So instead of pre-drilling holes and then putting in the rivets, having the sealant, as that added product, you eliminate all of those steps.
Okay.
You have pre-cut tape to your product specifications. Okay. So to recap what we discussed today, we talked about how the VHB tape in your manufacturing line could reduce the time of manufacturing by about 20%, improving your efficiency, allowing you to expand into the markets that you're looking to reach out to, as well as maintaining the safety through the durability that's been tested and proven for 20 years. So moving forward, are you interested in partnering with 3M and ESI to introduce this revolutionary approach into your manufacturing?
Well, I think we're interested, and you've hit some key components of it. Obviously, the ease of assembly would be good. So yes, I think we'd be interested in moving forward. You have to kind of define exactly what that would mean. So
moving forward, if you're interested in implementing the VHB tape, I'd like to bring in my engineering team at 3M that specifically works with the VHB tape, so that they can come into RMC and implement the product into your manufacturing line. We do offer trial runs with the product so that you can see if it's truly a good fit for your business. And from everything I've discussed with you and Chris, it sounds like this tape can bring a lot of value.
Okay.
So we can bring in our engineering team to help the fluidity of that transitioning process.
Okay,
Does that sound good?
It sounds good. We'll just have to make sure we know how we want to measure it and move through the process. Obviously, putting that out into the market is a challenge, but it sounds like there's some advantages here that we'd be interested to try to identify and measure. So.
Okay, great. Well, I'm really looking forward to working with you in this partnership with ESI, and 3M will be there every step of the way to help you with the transition. So, I'm really looking forward to helping RMC and improving their production.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
we look
you
forward
so much.
to hopefully, inventing the next best thing.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.